Fear Street Part 3 1666 comes out tomorrow on Netflix. It finishes off the Fear Street trilogy, which I was very excited to see. I have to apologize in advance. My eyes are just killing because of my contacts, so if I look stoned or anything, if my eyes keep closing, that's why. But Fear Street Part 3 1666 picks up right where the last one left off, and we are back now in 1666, and it stars the same people from the first one as different roles here as we go back in time, but it also finishes off the 1994 storyline in a very interesting way. And don't worry, this is a spoiler-free review. The film isn't technically out yet. Thank you, Netflix, for sending me this early just so I could watch it. I attended the virtual screening, and it was really great. I was very excited to see this film, and I have to say, this is my favorite film out of the trilogy. I love that first one. The second one for me was a step down. I know a lot of people liked it more. It was a step down. It was still good, but this one, in my opinion, is the best one. I was going between this one and the first one while watching, and then it ended. I'm like, no, this is the best one. Once again, Kiana Madeira, I think that's how you say her name, she starred in the first one. Once again, she stars here, and she actually plays the role of Sarah Fear, who obviously is like the big witch, and that's what this film is really based on. We go back to 1666, and we see what happened. We see the starting of this big curse, you know, the reason she decided so cursed, and then we have all the actors that we recognize, and they're playing characters from back then. I thought that was a really interesting take. It's nice to see familiar faces, because we have seen them in the first two films. But not only does it take place in 1666, don't worry, this isn't a spoiler, but they do have to finish off this 1994 storyline, and I really enjoyed the way they did it. It's very interesting, it's very exciting, it looks great too. The colors, just like in the first one, were really strong. The neon colors, again, kind of gives me Stranger Things vibes with like Starcourt Mall and all that, and with, you know, the Shady Side Mall here. It's kind of interesting that, yes, they are both by Netflix, but it was really interesting. And one thing that I will say you do have to get used to is when they're in 1666, which is the majority of this film, the accents, there's some like slight Irish accent, like each character has like this slight accent. I'm not exactly sure what it is, and it takes a minute for you to get used to it. My voice sounds so weird like this. Sorry, my nose is all stuffed up, but it does take like about 20 minutes to get used to it, and then you don't even notice it. But I do have to say that because when I was first watching, I was like, oh, is this going to be the whole film? But I think it's safe to say this is the most disgusting one out of them all, just because of the kills and what happens to certain characters in the film. Again, I will not spoil anything. There's certain people in the film, really gross, and like stuff with animals too. It's all really gross. The sound design really kind of adds to it, which is great because it's really well done. It's just very gross to hear and look at, but I think it really worked and kind of made you feel uncomfortable while watching the film, but somehow in a good way. And Leigh Janiak is back to direct this one. She directed all three of them, and she's done a really great job on them all. I think the scares, or like more so the thrills, I wouldn't say this movie is very scary, but it's very thrilling, and there's many moments where I was like, oh, like damn, like this is what's gonna happen. And I love the way it was pulled off, and you never really know what's gonna happen with the characters. You never really know if they're gonna survive, and there are tons of twists and turns in this film that I think actually really work. There's one very big one that obviously no one can miss because it's something that's very important here and that you learn, but I will not say it, don't worry. And I think that really worked. It really added more to it, and the performances across the board are really great. I would say Kiana Madeira, or how, again, sorry for butchering your name, I probably said it wrong. I'd say she's the best one because she's just great in every performance, and she has so much like on-screen chemistry and almost like this charm to her character in a way, but she's still like so badass. That's what I really enjoy about her. I think everyone's really good. I really love the writing too. Like the character conflicts really worked, and it's the dialogue in so many scenes that really strung everything together really well. And then of course, you know, you have these brutal kills, you have some great action as well, and some pretty chilling sequences. Like the first big event of 1666 is quite brutal in a way, and the reveal of it I thought was really well done. I will say sometimes this film does use too many like zooms, like physical zooms of the camera, where like a character will be talking to be like, whoop, they'll finish their line and then it will like zoom out. It does that a few times here, and because it does jump back in time and then goes and finishes the story of 1994, it can feel a little bit jumbled at times. Sometimes like almost two movies crammed into one. I'm not sure if it would have worked better as 4 movies, but it wouldn't have been a trilogy. Wouldn't have really made sense like that, but I did really enjoy this film, and I do highly recommend it if you're a fan of the first two. Fear Street Part 3 1666 is an amazing cap to this thrilling trilogy. It can feel a little bit crammed at times, but this was my favorite one yet. It's full of chilling moments, unexpected twists, and everything you need from a film like this. Make sure to check out the entire trilogy on Netflix this Friday. I'm going to give Fear Street Part 3 1666 a 4 out of 5. This is still in my top 5 of the year right now because I still need to see films like In the Heights and A Quiet Place Part 2. I'm finally seeing tomorrow night. It's been so long, but theaters are finally opening here, so I'll have a video on that. Once again, I really do apologize for my eyes. It's very hard to keep them open with all the lighting, but I hope it gets better soon. And I want to know if you're excited for the film and what you thought of the first two. And if you've already seen the film, I want to know what you thought of it down below. Is it your favorite one like me? And thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Over and out.